What is up, Nashville? It is the NFM podcast coming to you. I almost said live, but we're coming to you from the Game Day Men's Health studio. It's Terry Bargy, and I'm filling in for Sav, and I'm here with my good buddy.
I am D. Jarrell Webb. What's going on, guys?
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Welcome back.
I know. Like this seat is becoming real comfortable these days.
As it should.
You know,
you sit in it well. Yeah, maybe because they're your seats, but I don't know.
That might be true. But Sav, we miss you. Come home.
Let's go.
Jarrell, how's things going?
Man, life is good, man. I think I am going to go get waxed at waxing from.
Yeah?
Yeah. No,
you think so?
Wax in the city, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get waxed.
We should go together. It'll be fun.
If you do your chest.
I've been going.
Are you clean right now?
Uh-huh.
You smooth as a button?
Oh, yeah. It hurts.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I believe you. That's why I'll never go.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of body hair either, so.
It's better.
Yeah.
It's better now.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is it. Like if I could get the full beard, I would totally do it. But yeah, my hair just doesn't sit.
You need that good bourbon. You put some Four Roses single barrel on your
face.
Yeah, 3 inches in 2 days.
I think it's too late. Are you a Four Roses guy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Single barrel.
Okay.
I mean, I'll do it.
Maybe. I don't know.
This is a fitness podcast. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. You started talking about bourbon and you reel me in.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry. But anyway,
what?
Pull it up from right here.
Right. What do we have coming up? What do we have coming down the pipeline with NFM?
We got a few
Anything that we
things.
talk about?
The most exciting of the things is the best of, which, depending on when this airs, we're either in the middle of it or right at the end of it, which either way brings us to join us for the NFM Best of Awards ceremony presented by Porsche of Nashville.
Yeah, when is that? Do we have a date for that yet?
It's January 11th.
January 11th. So we're next year. Anything? Are we finishing the year with anything, or we're done for the year?
There'll be some
any events or.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything that in December that's on my.
No Christmas party, nothing. What kind of?
I mean, there might be an NFM Christmas party.
What kind of company is this, man? We don't have a Christmas party. We don't have.
I've got the events team working on that stuff.
Okay,
they have me on a need-to-know basis. So.
Okay, never mind.
You'll throw something in like a week in advance.
Right? And then,
like a week.
They'll text.
Hey guys, Tuesday.
They'll text Will. Hey,
so you're not coming? Like, no, it's Tuesday. I'm not going to be able to be there. Anyway, guys, we have to jump into our podcast. We got Will with Clean Eatz.
We're so excited to have Will here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. What's up, y'all? I'm Will Russ with Clean Eatz in Nashville, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and now Boone, North Carolina.
Say what?
Yeah.
You just dropped that?
Yeah,
I got to. I mean,
has that been a thing? For how long has that been a thing?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Boone is like the middle of nowhere.
It is not. It is a special place.
It is a special
heart of the
place.
Appalachian Mountains.
It is a very special
home
place.
of App State.
It is the home of App State. Yeah.
And it likely definitely needs Clean Eats.
Yes, among other things.
Yeah. Again, so point proven. Boone is like, it's like Gatlinburg.
No,
but smaller.
It's Gatlinburg's like Myrtle Beach of like mountain version of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
like
Boone is like what?
Boone's different. It's just it's this beautiful little town with amazing people, with a lot of little towns around it, and a great college. It's a good vibe. There's a lot of peace there. It's I mean, it's just beautiful land too. The mountains are tight, so you actually feel like you're in the mountains.
Yeah.
They're not like just huge hills. So yeah. There's a lot of positives.
It's like you have a love for Boone. Like Boone has a special place in your heart.
Yeah, it was a dream come true, honestly. Like long time coming.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, we're gonna jump more into that in your story, but first we have to do the basket of debate, which is brought to you by our friends at Game Day.
We're double dipping with the Game Day.
Clearly, we're double dipping with Game Day.
I only have 2 of these, so mine's going to come from my heart.
Of course it is.
So
of course
I'll hand you one.
So Will, here's what it is. This is like
we did not give him the run before the show
because I'm the only professional here. So it's the basket of debate. This will be an open-ended question that will kind of like an icebreaker, like for our people to kind of get to know you, get to know us. So
the goal is really to get us to argue.
Yeah, it's nothing too intense though. It's nothing political or anything. We're not going to get you canceled while we're here.
No. At least not today.
Not today, at least. Yeah. All right. So mine is Tall socks or low socks with the gym shoes?
This is actually.
Sorry, I'm reading mine. Tall socks or low socks?
Tall socks or low socks with gym shoes?
That's really hard. I mean, I feel like growing up, I was like low socks. And then, it's an indicator that you're a millennial if you're doing it. So then I switched to the high socks because I wanted to feel young and on trend.
Yeah.
I mean, well, right now I'm not,
you went back to the
Now I'm just in the comfy socks.
Yeah.
I think I'm back at low socks.
Yeah, I'm on low socks.
Same here.
I'm on low socks.
This makes me feel better because my kids are my kids are the tall socks.
Yeah.
They used to be in the tall socks, the compression ones, like pantyhose to put on. But
what are they? The black socks or the white socks and the tall socks?
They were doing all like the printed socks. That's
different level.
Yeah,
that's different level.
yeah.
I haven't worn long socks since football.
Yeah,
that's the last time I just ankle sock me all day.
Ankle socks for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel more.
Hate all you want out there.
I feel more free and functional and fast.
And it doesn't matter if they match. Whereas if you wear the tall socks, it matters if they match.
Not for the kids. They don't care. But I'm also a matching sock guy. Like I can't not match my socks.
I feel like you're probably super organized in your.
I'm not
your dresser,
though.
I'm
like, someone else just asked me that. I am not that guy either. Yeah. But I like to look good. And like I just kind of like my mother used to always say, make sure your underwear are clean and like your shoes are clean and your socks match. That was always her thing. Like you can't leave the house and I don't know what she thought was
the basics. I love it.
But she's like, you don't want to be in an ambulance and they have to take your underwear off and they're dirty. And I'm like, what's gonna happen to me tonight where I'll end up but that's just So it's been a thing. We talk about trauma a lot on this show. So that was a childhood trauma where I'm just always like matching my.
We also, it reminds me quickly before you get in yours. Were you raised, Will, to wait until you were done eating before you drank your drink, or were you drinking your drink during your dinner?
Drinking the drink during. It was never really a rule though. It was just
no.
Okay, we were both raised to. Don't fill up on the juice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So my kids make fun of me for this.
Yeah, I didn't really see. It was always water. I grew up with a nurse who, as a mom, my mother was a nurse, and so it was. I never had those drinks. I think she bought me one box of Gushers growing up, so it was like as clean as it could be. So then when I got out of her house or I got my license, it was just like after that,
full-fledged whatever I want.
Oh yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's yours?
Is there a place for motivation when encouraging your partner or spouse to work out?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, you've clearly not been in a relationship for very long.
Yeah. You married?
No.
Okay.
Life's too short to be stressed, and your body deserves the best. That's where Squeeze Massage in Brentwood, Tennessee comes in. Picture a massage experience that's not just relaxing, but truly tailored to you. At Squeeze, we've got your back, literally, with a way better massage experience designed to make you feel your absolute best. From the moment you book through our easy-to-use app, you'll notice the difference. Customize your massage, manage your preferences, and enjoy hassle-free tipping all in just a few taps. Our licensed therapists are pros at helping you unwind, de-stress, and rejuvenate, making every visit a luxurious escape. So why wait? Treat yourself to the ultimate in self-care. Visit squeezemassage.com to book your appointment today and experience the perfect blend of luxury, convenience, and personalization. Squeeze Massage in Brentwood, Tennessee, because you deserve nothing less.
But are you kidding me? Like you got to be your teammates. Like, you got to cheer them on. You got to motivate them. I mean, sometimes you got to hold the mirror up to the person you live with and be like,
oh man, no.
Now if you
You're gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
all right. Yeah.
Listen, 24 years of marriage, and it's never gone over well.
And your wife is into fitness though. Okay, or not?
By osmosis.
By osmosis. Okay.
She doesn't like it, and if I remind her of it, I gotta watch out for dishes flying through the air.
How do you say it?
You gonna work out today?
Okay.
Or when's the last time you worked out?
Okay.
When's the last time you done yoga? I get the eye roll and the sigh.
Yeah. And then she goes and does it. Or
I don't normally hear whether she does it or not. So.
I'm going to add on to this. Can you tell them that they need to work out? not ask, but like, hey, you're up about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
You should probably go in.
I don't know. I think you got to.
I don't want to even try.
I think you got to like also come to the table with like, hey, this is something that's important to me. Why don't we do this together? I mean, because getting back into working out, I think it helps if you've got a buddy helping you do it.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
And I think there's ways to do it.
Like a significant other.
Well, somebody else. It could be a significant other. It could be, I mean, I think there's definitely room for that. But I do get when you're a man asking a woman to do that, there's probably some pushback. I don't have that issue, so so I guess for me, I'm like, it's just something you talk about. Like, you want to be on the same page, and if you want to grow together and evolve in the same way for like the healthiest version of a relationship, I think you should be able to ask that, and also like be able to be open about that, because ultimately it's like long term, you're trying to make sure you iron all the wrinkles out so you have smooth fabric going forward.
Does it go both ways? Are you receptive to it as well?
It doesn't mean I want to hear it, but
okay.
I mean, especially like right now, I worked out yesterday, but hadn't done it in 2 weeks. But my partner's like, like, so what's your gym schedule looking like? Just kind of the prompting of, I need to think about this.
Don't forget,
Okay.
This makes you a better person, like mentally and physically,
and you're gonna feel better. Like it's not even I guess there's part of it that could be like face value. This is the aesthetic, like it's an aesthetic thing, but it also like, okay, you're stressed out, you're not doing this. Well, you're gonna feel better if you go work out. You're like all the other positives to it.
Yeah.
And ideally, your sex life's gonna be better too. So
it's true. So I'm interested. What does your wife say?
No,
you won't.
No. No. My wife is naturally small. Anyway. But like she'll bring it up before I will. Like she's like, oh, I need to go work out. I haven't been to Pilates and I'll just go, And it's like, and I was just saying, like, if you need to go, then go. Like, but I don't train my wife because I like her a lot and I want to stay married to her. So I won't train her. Like, even if we go to the gym together, we'll kind of go our separate ways. I've never been like, yo, you should start working out.
Why don't you just start with, how about we go on a walk? Like, start with the easy stuff.
Yeah.
That works. I mean, we do that. And I'm joking about a lot of this. But
that's more quality time in her. Because I'm like, let's walk. And she's like, what? I thought we were holding hands and shit. Like, no. I'm trying to get your heart rate up, babe. Gonna walk this hill 5 times.
You just need to tell her.
When I wouldn't go for the walk, I mean, we're going to walk this hill 5 times.
You just need to tell her, I think someone's following us.
I'm gonna call her and ask her. I'm gonna ask her like, "Hey, what's the best way to tell?" I'm gonna ask her that. I'm gonna call her.
Just say Terry needs some advice.
Terry
with his wife.
Tell his wife that she needs to work out.
I'm interested to see because she's from.
But my
the
wife
HR.
also works in HR.
Yeah, so she's from the HR department.
Very HR answer like, "Hey, we're talking about you." Right
that's
now.
why. That's what I want to hear.
It's almost
so interested.
In some cases, it's like you're adding one more thing to the mix of what they already have to do. In how they already show up in your life,
and
so
then,
it's hard.
Then that adds to the sex thing because so now you're not attracted to me. It's gonna be a mental thing. You're gonna be in your head about it. Like, and it'll be vice versa. She was like, "Yo, you getting kind of fluffy. Thought you were like the muscle guy. Like, what happened?" Like, I would feel away. Like, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta go to game day."
Wow, that was a long commercial for game day.
So I did right there.
Well done. Well done.
That feeling. I definitely.
You are a true professional.
Yeah, I've had that feeling myself. Like, it's time to go to game day.
Enough about that, man. We want to jump into to you and your story, and I think you come in and you're on brand. I love it all the way down to the shoes. Like, that's totally my vibe. But I think what most people probably want to know, you have 3 locations right now: Nashville, Murfreesboro, and now Boone. I think that the glaring question is probably, where's the food? You didn't even bring any food in here today. Like, there's no, like, we have a bag there, but it's empty. So we were just curious.
I'm actually a little worried he's going to take that bag back.
I actually forgot that was here.
It's a franchise. Like, there's a lot of ordering sites. I don't know where to get that, so I'm going to have to take it back.
No, seriously,
don't you take that back.
How'd you get involved? And I know when we initially met, I kind of know the story about, your initial weight loss goal or your weight loss, your transformation. How'd you get involved in the Clean Eats franchise?
Yeah, so it is my technical day off, so that's why I didn't bring any food with me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I did go to the cafe today for a few minutes to move some pumpkins around, but outside of that, I did not walk in there. So I got started with Clean Eats probably about 8 years ago. I was in a family business. I lived in North Carolina. And my weight, I mean, for years, really since, I got my license and had that freedom,
Sure.
It just yo-yoed all over the place. I mean, because as soon as I got that license and that freedom, it was like Bojangles and Burger King breakfast every day, just nonstop. And I never really gained. I didn't have access to a lot of those foods growing up. So then as soon as I got access to them, I didn't know where to stop. Yeah. And so I yo-yoed up and down. I lost a bunch of weight, went to a residential weight loss clinic and got a bunch of it off, and then I spiked back up, and so it was just constant yo-yoing. And hadn't ever before coming to Clean Eats really done meal prep. When I would diet, it would be very extreme, and then I had an eating disorder for years. It was binging and purging. Went through college, and I just drank all the time and just partied like crazy. And so I got up to 360 pounds. It was also going through, we were selling our family business. So that was stressful because like my whole support structure, everything I'd known for the last 20 years was just like poof, gone. Yeah. And so a friend of mine encouraged me to go to the Clean Eats. There was only a few open at the time. They had just started franchising, and they had just opened one where I lived in Greenville, North Carolina. And, at that time it was like in North Carolina, all the craft breweries were opening, big foodie culture, like truffle fries, everything. I mean, it was just constantly eating. And so I had started, working out again, walking, and attempting to run at 360 pounds. And it started to make some headway, but the food aspect of it was like these super, I'd get super regimented, then I'd fall off, here and there, and it would just totally spiral out of control. And so got on the meals, and started to, slowly, see the progress. I was only doing a few meals at a time, but eventually got the percentage up to like 90% of my meals were coming from Clean Eats. And then the other 10% was like brunch on Sunday, maybe dinner Friday and Saturday night, and maybe like, lunch on my own somewhere else. And from that was able to lose about 60 pounds, and knew I was getting out of my family business, knew I wanted to get into something else, wasn't really sure what. And so I was working in healthcare sales at the time and had bounced around to a few Clean Eats, but at that time it wasn't what it is today. It's not what it is in Nashville or Murfreesboro, the stores I own. It was just much in its infancy. And I looked at I knew I wanted to be in food, wrote about 7 business plans, and started realizing, okay, I would have to sell a lot of cups of coffee to make over $100,000 a year. Started going through all the businesses, writing all the plans, realized, okay, this is what an average transaction was going to have to cost me. And, still was very rudderless. And there's one day I was on the way to a sales call driving to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I just kind of broke down. And I mean, it was very much a God thing. I mean, everything leading up to where I am today, into this last store I bought, it was a God thing. Regardless if like my connection was strong the whole time or not, because it definitely wasn't. It was highs and lows, but I was just bawling my eyes out one day, like, what is next for me? And it just kind of came to me, and I got real clear about it. And so it was important to me to go somewhere where I could prove that my accomplishments were my own, not because of my family business or people knew my family in that like more rural community. And I looked on a map. I wanted to go somewhere where it was culturally similar, weather-wise similar, and I could still drive home to see my mom. There was not one in Nashville. I knew I wanted to have multiples because, I mean, in this game, you really need to have multiples to, produce the kind of, income that's, worth all the sacrifice of your life and your time when you're pouring into a business. So,
yeah. And you started in Green Hills, which is, we'll call it Nashville for people that don't know. And how long before you opened your second store?
So I opened my first store March 2018. And I mean, I lost my butt. The first year, I really didn't know what I was doing. I had this like romanticized idea of, what a restaurant would be like. And, it's almost like you open a restaurant and you feel like it's going to be like that family Italian restaurant where everybody just comes in. It's going to be so great and it's going to be so perfect. And it was a struggle. And so there was a period of time where I was like, I'm not doing another one. Like I'm good. I mean, I remember I was out back one day crying because my staff were just being such dicks. And I was like, I can't do this. I'd had some like higher profile customers at the time. I'm like, I'm good with this. I find some happiness with that. I don't know how I could do multiples. And then I started to see my friends in Clean Eats have multiples and, what that looked like. And so in August 2020, after things started opening back up, I started to kind of wake up to the idea like, okay, maybe I could do another one. Maybe I could, stomach this. So I bought 2 more territories, found a Zoe's Kitchen in Murfreesboro that had shut down, because Cava had gone in, bought the Zoe's Kitchens. And then that one, they just shut down and left everything in there. So I was able to get into that. Oh, wow. And was able to cash flow it. So I didn't have to take on debt. Yeah. And so that's what got me to 2. And then I've looked at doing 2 other ones, but the cost of them to open a restaurant is just so much. And I very much do not want to live with debt. Yeah. And I want to pay people what it takes to live in a place like this. And also, I don't want to be I want to be able to make the decisions that are right by the people I lead and by the customer, and not have to be constantly in scarcity mode. How am I going to pay back this massive debt service? Yeah. So that's what got me to 2. And then, some things opened up, and, recently in the last 2 weeks, I bought the 3rd one, which, very much was a blessing and something I had been kind of had as an idea for about the last 6 years. And it all came to fruition. So.
Did you just want to get back to North Carolina? Was that a part of it? Was it just was that coincidence, or just kind of right place, right time? Everything kind of worked together.
I don't think anything's coincidence at this point. Yeah. I just like, whatever you believe in. I mean, there's energy and universal energy and God.
It's okay to say God.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm meeting anybody where they're at. Like, there's something more here. And it's crazy because 6 years ago to the month, I was up in Watauga County, which is where Boone is. And the owner at the time, he was like, yeah, one day you can come up here and you can buy this off of me. And I was like, no, like, 1, that sounds like unattainable. 2, if I can't drive to my business and go save the day, like, absolutely not. Yeah. And the manager there, we've been talking over the last 2 years. He's asked me for advice on various things, and he reached out to me. He's like, would you be interested in this? And I was like, I can't be there all the time, right? And so I love Watauga County. It's beautiful. My heart's always been there. It's halfway home. And I just love the mountains. And I think I got, my life coach years ago said to me, like, you can't set your goals up on accolades and achievements, because once you achieve those, like, what are you left with? Right. And so I did that. Like, I became number 1 in the franchise system. I got, franchisee of the year. And then after that, I'm like, well, what the hell's next? Like, right. And so I was very rudderless. And so this, in a lot of ways, gave me a lot of peace and, purpose in something new, but it also allowed me to go focus on something else, so that the people in my organization have been with me, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now they can, step up at a greater level. Yeah. So it all worked out. Of course, they just had the hurricane there, so wasn't exactly what I was expecting. But the day that it all came about, all the signs that were revealed to me that day, it's like I couldn't dismiss that. I was like, this is meant to be. I do not know why, but I got to see this through, even if it bankrupts me in the end. I got to do it.
I'm interested in that. Like, I think that's great advice from your life coach, and I think that's a danger in the entrepreneurial world, is that our identity gets wrapped up in achievement, or even really our business. Mm-hmm. And if it fails, then we feel like a failure. Like, how is that something you're still navigating, or what have you found to be your your plumb line in that?
I think over the years I have been tested so many times in putting those. I mean, really what I do, my job is to provide jobs, and I serve those that I lead. And then from there, they serve those that, are customers. And I think that a lot of people, especially, you know, entrepreneurs, they look at their P&L and that's their indicator of how successful they are.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's more than just your P&L as your KPI of what's successful. And I had a manager one day who said, you know, my sales aren't growing, but I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, but you got to also look, you have people who you take care of, who you lead, you have work-life balance. You have people who, you know, are loyal to you. And so you start looking at those things. And I think over time, it used to be a scarcity mindset. And then at a certain point, it's like, okay, I've been blessed with abundance, and therefore abundance must flow through me into those that I lead or those that I encounter. And so, it's not really a thing for me. It's like, as long as I'm doing the right thing, as long as I'm passing those tests of always putting others first ahead of my own needs and my own financial goals, the universe, God will provide to me, you know, all that I need, because I've always had everything I need. I've never had, you know, bank accounts full of money, but I have people around me, and in a restaurant industry, very low turnover. I mean, nobody ever leaves unless it's like going on to a new chapter of their life. And so, you know, I'm good with that. And I think that's what brings me peace and fulfillment, you know, in every day in what I do.
I think that's refreshing, honestly. Like, you know, I don't hear that a lot in business. Matter of fact, I feel like a lot of people kind of just divert attention away from those type of things. And typically in a, you know, take it or leave it, in a success mentality of, I've got to look out for myself, and they look out for themselves so much that people become stepping stones. So I love hearing that. I mean, I've known you for a little bit, and I've seen how you've supported the industry and the fitness industry as a whole, and you do it as a community. You guys are everywhere, and I'm trying to be everywhere, and you're always already there. So it comes out in what you're doing. And when I talk to people about Clean Eats, they're like, "Oh yeah, Will, Bree, we love them." So, no, you guys are killing it, and that message is definitely something I see in the way you run business for sure.
Yeah, and I think too, it's kept people there. I mean, both managers in the stores here have been with me like 4 and 5 or 6 years now. Yeah. And I think, even running the business, like it's a recurring revenue that we have each week, because people come week after week, so they have to see the same people. So I recognize, you see customer service all over the place where it's always a new person, or somebody leaves, or they can't keep anybody. And I think you have to invest in people first. Yeah. And above all else, above self, and from there, you know, the rest will flow to you and through you. So
yeah, if you had a chance to go back 8 years, is it 8 years? How long you been in?
March 2018. Yeah, 7, 8 years.
7, 8 years to go back to Will 8 years ago. What would you tell him?
That's a good question.
Oh man. I think I used to be really afraid. I used to sugarcoat everything. I was unable to give like open palm, like, this is where I'm at, this is what the situation is. And so I would dance around the things that really needed to be said, that, you know, honestly, somebody would have probably profoundly impacted somebody if I would have just said it and stopped worrying about what somebody thinks about me.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, just showing up more authentically and stepping out of a scarcity mindset and just walking with a deep sense of knowing into an abundance mindset, and knowing that, you know, what you're doing, whether it's delivering bad news or, you know, just powering through and staying out of your head, like, you're going to be okay, and it serves a higher good.
Yeah. You guys do a little bit of everything: meal prep, ready, hot right now foods. Mm-hmm. What would you say Clean Eatz is known for, though?
What I hope it's known for is making mealtime easy.
Okay.
Okay. For me and my businesses here, it's definitely our grab and goes. I mean, and it even like system wide, we sell the most grab and goes, which are our frozen meals. And a lot of people are like, I want fresh food, I want this, and I'm like, okay, well, grab and goes were made this week too. But I think grab and goes that's been my game for a long time. And I think that's what I enjoy the most, because I can get so much variety out, but also I have more creative freedom in that to say, like, this is the product I think should be on the shelf. Yeah. And just knowing the customer base, like, of what people want when I talk to them, because I walk my floors all the time. I constantly talk to customers. And so I think that's what we sell the most of, probably what we're most known for and what most customers are coming to us for.
Yeah, I think it's clutch. I've sent a lot of people there just because of that, like clients and otherwise. But I think it's so clutch, especially in the fitness industry. That is probably the biggest hole, the biggest gap that people have. They don't mind coming and working out. It's like, all right, but now I don't feel like cooking, or I'm too busy to cook, or I don't know what to cook. I don't want to eat the same thing over and over and over again. Excuse me. How often do you guys switch out, like even the grab and goes? Is that a new menu every week? Is that every day? Is something different? How does that work?
So it's kind of been elusive over the years. And I think, one thing I think about is, there's an error rate with anything. And the error rate I look at within our grab and go meals is, I want to be sure the meals on the shelf are going to appeal to the widest customer preference on taste and flavor profile. And so with that, I've got probably 30 different meals that I have them run consistently. The staff can run what they want to run, but this is like the deck of 20 to 30 meals that need to be out there. Yeah. And then from there, there's also more variety week to week put in it. And with something like what we do, like we've got our meal plan, which is refrigerated meals. Inevitably, if you're making 300 or 500 of a certain meal, you're going to be left with something. Yeah. You might have a bus tub of pasta or steak or something like that. And so then you got to figure out, okay, what other meals can I make out of what I've got to get out on the shelf? And so that's where, the variety for us comes in. And over time, we've kind of, it's definitely a talent to a lot of degrees of like, how do you make, because I learned in the beginning, you can't just throw food into a container, freeze it, heat it up, and think it's going to be good. Very true. So, very true. But you also have to be able to do the macros. Like you can't, some of stuff gets a little complicated. So if you want your macros to be accurate, like you've got to keep it in a consistent format. And so that's what we've tried to do is standardize that. But then meal plan also gives you that week to week variety because the menu changes every week.
Yeah. What's Will's favorite meal at Clean Eats? What's your go-to?
Right now off the menu, it's
off the menu.
The turkey burnt in Cuban flatbread.
Okay.
That's so good.
Is that is it a secret menu?
Right. No, it's on the cafe menu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the turkey burn ends are so good. But buffalo mac and cheese, barbecue cheeseburger bowl, we sell hand over fist.
Yeah, the barbecue cheeseburger bowl is clutch every time.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, it's it's healthy fat kid food that's macroed out.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I used to when I got into it, it's like I'm not selling mac and cheese. I'm not selling waffle fry. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing breaded chicken. But, that's what people want. They want things that they are accustomed to eating. There's people who want the whole spectrum of healthy eating, but people want things that they're going to look forward to eating where they don't feel like they're on a diet. And if you want them to stay consistent, you've got to give them something that's easy.
Some of that stuff. And a healthier version of what they're already used to.
Yeah.
It's hard taking you from Bojangles to tilapia and rice.
You don't want to feel like you don't want to feel like you're missing out, right?
Yeah, you got about 2 meal times. Yeah,
you're like,
that's like, no,
Yeah,
egg whites.
I've never been that guy. Never been that guy. My one thing that took me from eating healthy probably 80% of the time to all the way was Buffalo Wild Wings. I had it. I used to watch football and have it every Sunday with my buddies. And I told my wife, "You can recreate this, then I'm all in."
Yeah,
and she did, and I was mind blown. Like, it's as close as you can get, right? As healthy as you can make it.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah, I think you have to understand that there's always wiggle room, right? It's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not always all or nothing, right? Like, and to your point, I want to see something that I'm excited to eat.
Right.
Like when I'm hungry, I don't want to go in and I read. It's like I don't want that. Like if I see barbecue cheeseburger bowl, I'm like I'm intrigued. Let me see. Like even if I don't know what's in it, let me just try it and see if I like it. Right.
Right.
So I think like in that space, it's tough. The restaurant industry is tough as well. What lessons have you learned since opening? Because restaurant, especially you guys. I don't want to say survive COVID, but like the shutdown, that was a tough thing, especially for restaurant for the restaurant industry. What lessons did you learn during that time?
I think it forced me. COVID forced me to do a lot of things, and I definitely had to evolve. I mean, it taught me how to delegate. It taught me, I mean, when I got COVID during COVID, when COVID, like everybody was super freaked out about it, that really made me realize I can't be doing this all myself. Because I mean, when I got in the business, I've always been like sales, marketing, like aesthetics, product development type stuff. But I was running around doing everything because I was just horrible at delegating, and I felt bad because I was asking people to do this or that, and I think it really sharpened me up because I knew it made me make some tough calls. Because like, okay, now I got all these people in here, I can't support all of them, so there's some who like they've got to go just because they weren't hard workers to begin with, and then it made me realize, okay, going forward, you only have room for hard workers, and because if my job is to bring somebody financial security, and my whole focus is how can I get more money in their pocket so I'm the best deal, and so they aren't in scarcity mode and they can financially take care of themselves, I can't do that with somebody who's not a hard worker. And I'm not going to bust my butt to try to get there if I'm constantly having to turn around and fix things. And so it really made a clear delineation for me on that. It helped me understand that, okay, you're going to have to delegate. You can't, I mean, then when I went to 2 stores, it was like, all right, what you were doing here, you can't do anymore. Like you being back in the kitchen, making all these meals yourself, like you're working harder than anybody here, but now you got 2, so you got to give, the other family the love too. So that was a lot of evolution during that time. And me actually getting COVID really kind of severed me from my old ways, and I had to, kind of walk the new path.
Yeah, I love that. And I was thinking about that earlier before Terry asked the question. Like, you seem like a very hands-on type of owner. Like, you like to be in your business to know exactly what's going on, to feel the flow of it. How are you managing that with now Boone open and not being able to go in and walk the store every day and talk to the customers and kind of get the heartbeat of that restaurant? Because everyone kind of has their own kind of personality, identity. Yeah. How are you handling that?
I think you got to choose your battles. I mean, it's like you can't control everything, but there's certain things that I do. Everybody who works for me knows what my mission is to them. I mean, any store you walk in, they're like, yeah, he takes care of us. Yeah. I mean, the loyalty is there, so I know that's going to get done. I mean, granted, yes, there's still behaviors. I mean, my job is also to remind you of the behavior that I need you to have to show up in the environment that I have created. But I think, if the loyalty's there, if the team knows you have their back, they may not like everything you say, but if the ultimate goal is to get them to help them reach their goals, which also helps you reach your goals, then it'll happen. But I think it's just setting the standard to being consistent. And also, I mean, I very much now, as I've gotten into this 3rd store and kind of going before, it was like, my goal is like, I want to be a coach. And for a while I was like, I want to be a life coach, and in many days I am a life coach.
I bet you are. Yeah.
When you've got 40 people who work for you and they've been there a while, everybody knows everybody's stuff. They know who I am. I mean, when I walk in and say things about my personal life, like I know the same thing with them. I know what's going on with them. And so I think it's just being very communicative and always reminding them, like, this is what needs to happen, but this is why, because it's trying to help us all reach this goal.
Gotcha. I love that. Before we continue, we got to take a quick little break and pay some bills, and then we'll be right back.
Welcome to Game Day Men's Health in Green Hills in Nashville, Tennessee. We are a men's health clinic. We're doing a lot with testosterone replacement therapy. So welcome to our clinic. What you'll be able to do is get your blood work. We'll send it back to our in-house labs. We'll test your total testosterone, your PSA, and then your H&H as well. So we'll get those results within about that 20-25 minute mark. You'll be able to sit down with our licensed clinician and go over your results. We do a lot with medical weight loss, vitamin injections. We have a few ED services as well. And then we also do a lot with peptide therapy as well. And it is something that you want to move forward with if it makes sense. You should be in and out in about 45 minutes.
And we're back with our guy Will and Clean Eatz. Why Clean Eatz, man? Like, out of all the restaurants that you could have gone into outside of like just the financial business, I know you say you sat down and you looked at the numbers, like, I have to make sell these amount of coffees to reach, my financial goals. Why not start your own thing? Why not start Will's Fried Chicken and Waffles or whatever? Why was it Clean Eats?
I think going through the different business plans and like figuring out what I needed to make, I think all that really did was tell me what I did not need to be doing.
Okay.
I think for me, struggling with an eating disorder for so long and like suppressing it and realizing, one day I'm sitting, like I'm working this bougie remote job where I was getting paid ridiculous amounts of money and I wasn't doing a whole lot. I was, at home every day and started to see like, all right, these were the changes I was having. And I remember looking out the window one day, I was like, wow, this is the first time that I have not engaged in these, past negative cycles around eating, where somebody else worried about the macros for me. So I didn't have to. And, food was a non-issue and I actually look forward to it. And I think when I saw the impact it had on me and my eating habits and how much it changed, I was like, that's what I want to do. And I really started to have this understanding of like, food is fuel. And I also wanted to bring this to other people because I knew the profound impact it had on me on so many levels. I mean, and eating healthy has so many trickle down effects. And I saw that and was like, that's what I want to be doing. I want to do something I feel good about. If I'm going to get into food, I don't want to sell alcohol. I'm afraid of fryers to this day. Like they freak me out. I mean, and so it was very much a like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that.
Me too. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. I think I love Clean Eats. I don't frequent a lot of outside of like the larger brands like a Cava or something like that. I don't frequent a lot of like the healthy eating stores. But when I do go to Clean Eats, it feels like meal prep, but good meal prep. So because of the packaging, because of the display, I know exactly what I'm eating when I go, okay, this is 550 calories. Cool. Because I always get like the muscle builders, like the bulk joints. Yeah. And so like I think just eliminating that part of your healthy life is just it's a game changer for me, and I think it should be a game changer for for most people.
Yeah, I think it's a game changer for our clients. Like I still train a handful of people, and one of my clients just moved a block away from Clean Eats in Green Hills. I'm like, you have no excuse. The busiest human on the planet, as far as I've met. Like you like to walk a block, go to Clean Eats.
Get us some food.
It's literally right there, and you won't have to. You don't have to come off the road and just be dead tired and have to cook a meal just for one person. Like go down to Clean Eats.
Are you guys on any delivery apps?
The cafe food is, and there's a few meals up there, but we run through so many meals at once. Yeah. Like the inventory, we do about 8,000 meals a week. And we're talking probably a variety of 6.
That's one store or that's all
between
your
the two in this market.
Okay.
And it's probably a variety of 60 to 70 meals that are running through there with, standard versions, low carb, extra protein versions. Yeah. So, and we make in smaller batches of like 40, 80, 120. So by the time anything would be listed up there with all the variety, it's impossible. I mean, I did it during COVID.
Yeah.
And I made it work, but and two, like at our price point, average cost is like $7 to $8 per meal. And so, when I was looking at delivery, I wanted to do it because I was, trying to compete with somebody in town at the time. We were just like, it was like Instagram post for post. Like, I got a deal. I got a deal.
Real beef. No. Out here, baby. I love it.
No. There's no beef with any of them. I love them all, honestly. Yeah. And I have a lot of them that are my friends. But it was like you'd have to pay $25 for delivery to make it make sense at that price point versus if you're selling something at like $12 or $14. Gotcha. And when you've got a storefront, you staff 7 days a week, you really don't have the capacity to be sending out couriers everywhere. It just eats away your margin. So
I love that. I mean, you think of it all, man. You really know your business. It's like,
I touch it every day.
They can have that.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's my passion, and I'm thankful I get to wake up and do it every day because it doesn't feel like. I mean, some days feel like work, but.
It's your last store. Are we going to go?
Yeah. What's the future?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have said my first two.
You smile when I said that. Like,
we tried to.
Did you see? Kind of like it's kind of like.
Well, Roy and I already tried to get him to come to Franklin. It's like, hey, we'd be willing to, maybe talk. talk.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll put it's out there now. That's in the airwaves.
Franklin's in my, I live down there. So
Franklin
out there.
has got a great option and a new great option coming.
Okay.
And I don't really want to play around in that market.
Okay.
I mean, like Calhoun's Nutri Shop, he's a friend. Like when I thought I was going over there, I like told him, I was like, I feel bad, dude, but I mean, that's his place. And I care about him a lot. Like maybe if it happened, I would do it. And then Music City Fit Meals is going over there, and like that gives them a second location. So I don't really have a desire to be over there.
You're such a nice person, Will.
I mean, I can see that cutthroat. These are small businesses at the end of the day. These like support families. Like I'm not going to go over there with a major liability and try to compete in a market with
I
respect.
Well, I actually appreciate that. Like I've gotten out of relationships with advertisers with the magazine because they want to go into an area and put someone else out of business.
Yeah.
I'm like, we want to be collaborative. We don't want to there is a way to collaborate and still provide, make money. You don't have to go put somebody out of business.
No. I mean, and it's never been my goal. I mean, because at the end of the day, I know how hard it is in this business, and I mean, there's behind every business, there's human beings. I mean, now if it was some big corporate, entity, like fine, like let's go, like I'll create local jobs, I'll get you.
Yeah.
But if I do another one, like I'll buy existing stores right now, just with how much everything costs. I don't want any debt. I don't have to. I want to be able to put people first. Having debt means you're putting the bank first. And so if I can acquire them in areas where people actually want to live and they can create a life that's affordable and the quality of life's good and I don't mind visiting there, fine, I'll do it. And that's like what Boone was for me. It's if I can send some of the people who've worked for me and been loyal to me and they know how I operate and I know how they operate and I could send them to somewhere great where they'd want to live, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But I think only time will tell. I mean, I say one thing and then the universe provides something else.
So we got like 5 stores in the pipeline.
Yeah, but I also like the motive too, and I think if your motives are correct like that, like somebody will be listening to this thing and they'll be like, in their store, and it could be any one of the people you've mentioned, like they want to collaborate with you on a Clean Eats or something like that, and that's amazing. That's what we want. That's what it's all about.
That to me, and that's a very real possibility. Like I would rather go in, say save up X, Y, Z, and I'll go in with you. I'll hold the liability. You can have a piece of it, so you have skin in the game. You can buy me out at some point. But it's like, when's enough? I mean, I got 40 employees. Like I love them all dearly, but I don't necessarily want 80.
Yeah.
And I'm happy and I have everything that I need. And your piece at the end of the day is like, there's no price to be put on that. And I've seen people who put the money first. And I mean, I've used to compare myself to somebody who I was like, well, I want that. Why don't I have that? And then lo and behold, 2 years later, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. That wasn't real.
Yeah. Wow.
I
think that's a word for life in general. I think when we far away admire somebody, you never know, one, if it's real or fake, and then two, whether or not they're really happy. Like you said, I know 40 is good and I'm happy. I still can go home, I can sleep, I can do all the things that I love to do. If I have 80, that may change a lot of different things, for my lifestyle personally.
Yeah.
And so I think that's big.
It's a good lesson for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing how much you can,
enough's enough.
How much you can take. Terry, we're going to jump into stretch our intellect.
We are.
Yeah, you want to talk about our sponsor?
Oh, yeah. Well, our sponsor is Revive Retreats. And you didn't know this, but I'm going to let
I did, but go ahead.
I'm going to let you know. Revive Retreats is actually teaming up with Nashville Fit Magazine for a special retreat in Tulum, Mexico in the end of January.
25?
25.
Are you paying for us to go? Or how's that work?
That's to be determined.
Okay.
I would jump in on that.
This is an adventure retreat. With fitness is the theme, so it's an active retreat for active people.
What can people expect from that?
They can expect to have really good, clean food, and lots to do, and at least one daily workout that happens, on this retreat. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. And we're gonna explore Tulum, Mexico. So
I love it.
How big is that room block?
It's 10,
and
it's a very nice resort. So
10 rooms?
10 rooms. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see if we sell them out.
Okay.
So if you want more information, you can email Nashville Fit Magazine at info@Nashville Fit Magazine and just say Revive Retreat. Or you can go to Revive Retreats. I think it's thereviveretreats.com, and you can click that. You'll see Tulum, Mexico. So cool. Yeah, we're doing it.
Are you going to visit the Jungle Gym?
I don't. Yeah, we definitely have to do that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was on.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it actually has that. There's one of those gyms on the premise.
Ooh.
So
like the Nashville Fit cover be like us.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I still won't cover. Like,
That'd be
I don't have
amazing.
that many followers, but I still won't cover.
hey, it's not about the followers. It's about the true underdog story.
We got to get Will on there with a shirt.
I went on.
I'm second page. I'm okay.
I went on Blake's podcast and talked about exactly that. Like, what's it look like to be a cover prerequisite? And that is it. It's spotlighting the little known and not just rolling with people with the large followers. So that's what we're about.
That's why I haven't been on the cover yet. Got it.
Yeah, you're too well known.
Stretch your intellect, good people. These are facts. And we're just throwing them out there. So mine is music and motivations. Study shows that music can increase workout endurance by 15%. This is why most gyms play upbeat, fast-paced music. It's scientifically proven to help you work harder and longer. I believe that.
I didn't know the scientific part, but it makes sense.
I figured it had to be some science in there somewhere because I can't work out like without music.
Yeah.
Like when I see people running with no headphones, I'm like, he has to be a psycho. Has to be something wrong with that guy. Has to be. Like
the tempo is in the pace,
all
bro.
you hear is just breathing and air.
I used to be that guy.
I believe point proven.
Yeah,
point
that guy.
proven.
Well, it's because I was landing I was learning to run, and I was landing really heavy, so I was trying to be more front of foot.
Yeah.
So I needed to be able to hear it.
Oh no.
Yeah, sound matters. I mean, the frequency you're putting in your ears when you're working out.
Yeah.
Like,
it determines your pace. It determines your mood. Like we talked about this, like with leg day and R. I have a leg day and R&B. That's my thing. Like getting your feelings. You lift heavier.
Yeah,
it's science. I don't think it is, but it may be.
I just changed all the playlists at the store.
Yeah,
so they would be like. Because sometimes you go in there, it sounds like a club.
Yeah.
In other stores you go in, it's just like, nah, this ain't it. And so I was just like, all right.
I have one playlist for all the stores now?
I declare what the BPMs are in here. And you have a Fall Vibes playlist. But this is your primary. This is what needs to be on the big days. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, you set the tone and frequency. Like, so you have to.
I agree. Like, and like, especially running is rhythmic. And so if you have an upbeat song, you're gonna run faster.
Yeah,
because you're gonna try to keep up with the beat
for sure.
So,
yeah.
All right, what do we got? Will, you're gonna go last on this one.
Oh, you want to go last? Okay, well, I'll go then. Mine's not interesting at all, but it's a little known fact. Hidden maintenance. Gyms require a significant amount of maintenance, particularly for machines and equipment. On average, gyms spend about 10 to 15% of their actual revenue on maintaining and replacing equipment. Some large centers allocating even more than that.
I believe it. That's why I never wanted to own a gym.
Yeah,
it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Like,
bless those who do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Give somewhere to work and work out.
Yeah,
but that has never been on my bucket. It's too much to go into. You can't be an actual trainer. You have to be a gym owner. It's kind of like you said. I got to make sure I'm running everything. Like, why am I? I can't. If I'm cooking, I can't talk to customers, right? So I can't if I don't know what's going on up front because I'm in the back making everything.
It's true. Very true.
Will, you're going to read yours, but when you finish, I want you to, you can think about it throughout. I want you to think about what you want to leave our listeners with. It doesn't have to be Clean Eats related. It can be motivational. You know, you can talk about your transformation. You can say, hey, guys, please visit Clean Eats and order some food. But it's whatever you want to leave our listeners with.
All right. Man, that's a tall order. A burial site on Music Row. Music Row, the hub of the country music industry, is also the resting place of one of Nashville's earliest settlers, William Edmondson, who was a famous folk art sculptor. His grave, however, is hidden in plain sight among the recording studios and office buildings.
That's creepy.
Cool.
I have no clue.
So what I would say, I think regardless of whatever it is you're going through, whatever challenges you face, or if you know somebody who's facing challenges or going through things and you want to help them, wherever you're at, I think it's important to remember that it takes small wins to build faith, whether that's faith in yourself, faith in a process, a business, something you're working on, higher power, God, whatever that is. Those small wins along the way is what builds a deeper faith in whatever you're doing. And so just look for the small wins. But also, if you want to check out Clean Eatz, check us out on Instagram at Clean Eatz Nashville TN or Clean Eatz Murfreesboro. We would love to have you in and appreciate your business.
Yeah, make sure you guys get in Clean Eatz and check out that new fall playlist. We're interested to see what's on it. What's on Will's playlist? Like, what does Will work out to? Empty Gym, just Will. What's playing?
Right now, it's summer dance hits.
Summer dance hits?
Yes.
Yeah. I might be embarrassed of what's on there, but yeah. So I listen to a lot of different music though.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys again for checking in with us. I am the Jarrell Webb. This is the Game Day Men's Health Studio,
and I am Terry. Thanks for joining us.